They're slow, they're slouching, but actually, that slowness is a very deceptive weapon because it breeds overconfidence. If you see slow, slouching zombies, you're like, oh, hey, no problem, I'm gonna just go taunt them. They'll be like, oh, delicious sight. And as you're taunting them, you're not realizing the clock is ticking, and before you know it, you turn, and there you are, there's another one. So don't be lulled into their slowness. Next question. Yes?
What's the quickest way to decapitate a zombie?
Quickest way to decapitate a zombie? With something sharp? Do you mean like what weapon or what tactic?
Yes.
Oh, well that's easy. Obviously swinging a blade is good, but striking is better. Because when you swing, you have to come around. And their energy is coming towards you. So it's almost knocking them off balance. Where, why not use that energy? Why not have a blade that you can thrust into the neck, like a bayonet, chop their head off, because they're using their own energy to your advantage. So when I say what kind of weapon is great, I would say a Shaolin spade, but those are kind of hard to come by. However, weapons, for those of you in the Sci-Fi Club, melee weapons, those melee weapons do not exist. Who's talking about? Of course they exist. No, there's no such thing as a weapon. Those melee weapons are tools. They started as tools. Nobody ever set out to make a weapon. I mean, later on they did, but initially, a weapon was a tool from a peasant. You know, no one ever made a battle axe. What happened was, in ancient Scandinavia, Bjornsson was chopped wood with his axe to, build his hut, and then, Lars Lundergaard was like, Bjorn, we have to go for a raid. He's like, oh crap, I don't have a weapon. Wait a minute, I can totally chop somebody's head off with this. And he's like, that's great, what do you call it? And the axe is like, no, it's a battle axe. If you go online, as I know some of you will do and not admit in public, and look at weapons, do not buy them, especially from any sort of fantasy site, because guess what? The Witch King sword from Lord of the Rings is going to break. Those weapons that you see online are made for display, okay? They're for young men, live with their parents, put them up on the wall of the basement of their bedroom, and for some reason think that's going to attract women. Those will shatter, even the ones that say battle ready, because I know there's one of you right here, probably more, in this group, who's like, no, I can toggle's battle ready. No, it's not. It's Renaissance Fair ready. Okay? So do not go for the weapon. Go for the tool of which that weapon was based on. Do not get the Shaolin spade, get the ice scraper. Okay? Because it's cheap, it is durable, it is meant to be used. And it's cheap enough, you can buy another one, in case that one breaks. So don't get the battle axe, just get the axe. Don't get the sword, just get the machete. If you must have a warhammer, make sure you're strong enough to swing it. Because I know there's one of you who was like, dude, I'm totally going to be like the Gimli in the group, and I'm going to have a big hammer, and they'll be like, you're going to have an axe. Shut up, I'm in my fantasy. And those things are heavy. So make sure in your group, it's always important, and I say this just a rule of thumb, in your group, it's always important to have at least one jock. Jocks are really important. Don't discount them, no matter what they did to you in high school. They're physically fit, they're pumped full of testosterone, and they're easily manipulated.
That's funny.
And some of you, what are you talking about? Let's say you have a dangerous mission, and you're sitting there with Tyler, and real man with some balls. Go out and do it. We're all just fags. And Tyler would be like, not me. You're like, oh, Tyler, you're so cool. And then he goes and like, oh. So that's really important. Don't forget the nerd. I'm sorry, don't forget the jock. We're all the other 9 of you. Anyway. Yes.
Just a quick question. If we are unable to flee the city, are there any buildings you would recommend barricading? I myself work at the Statue of Liberty, but I fear it's just a matter of time before the undead besiege the island since they can walk.
I wouldn't be worried about, and this gentleman says, like, where should you go, say, in New York City? I wouldn't worry about the dead with Liberty Island because there's a breakwater. So even if they climb underneath, you know, New York Harbor, they can't get up there.
There is a small beach that is closed.
You can block that off, but don't worry about the dead. The problem is, the Statue of Liberty was created as a beacon for refugees. So, unless it's your intention to become like the great Lord and Savior of millions of starving, pissed off, possibly infected people, probably Liberty Island's not the best place to go.
But I have to deal with people ticked off, they can't go to the crowd, so I have to deal with those kinds of angry people.
Well, there you go. Multiply that by about how many people in New York City? And they're armed and angry, and half of them are probably bitten anyway. So, that's a good point. You don't want to go somewhere that is what I like to call the first thought. You know what I mean? The place where you're like, oh yeah, I'll go to the gun store. Oh yeah, like you and everybody else. Or, oh my God, I'll go to the Walmart. Everyone's going to go to the Walmart. Those places, hospitals, stores, police stations are going to be bloodbaths because everyone's going to want to get in. You want to go somewhere that nobody is going to even think about, okay? Like the library. Because New York Public Library, how many ways in is there?